deep in our bunker, and we are completely out of rations. You're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast, where it's two guys take on life, liberty, and the pursuit of gravy, and you, the listener, are getting a degree in common sense. We are broadcasting from the HB5 studios right here in beautiful downtown historic Concord, North Carolina. Wow, what the weather. Can I just say that? I'll be your host, Biggun, and how about you? We've got a great show lined up for you, as always, but before we begin, let me introduce you to the second half of this flaky biscuit. That's right, I'm talking about the pride of Anderson, South Carolina, but most of you probably know him best as the silver-tongued one, the man with the golden voice. 2016's honorable mention, Father of the Year, the inventor of the redneck egg roll. Give it up on old mic number one. It's Mojo!
Little Elvis entering the day. Can't be bad.
If I could have my alarm clock like that every morning.
That's right. It starts you on a good mood every time, right?
That would be. That'd be pretty awesome.
Hey, thanks, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in this week again. You can reach us on the interwebs at southernfriedphilosophy.com, at SFP Radio, on the Twitters and Instagram, and YouTube. We now have a YouTube site. Tell them how they found us there.
You go to SFP Radio on YouTube, and you can listen to all of our podcasts. Well, the last two podcasts.
Well, that's a start, right?
We're gonna try it out.
We're gonna try to backload some.
So see if you like it. If you like listening or being able to check it out on YouTube, you can leave your comments, all that fun stuff there. If you like it, then we'll backlog all the other ones. If you don't like it, then we won't do it and we'll stop it.
And it is suitable for work.
It is.
I would say so.
You can listen to it while you're at work. Yeah, exactly.
Also, if you can, please go to iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. Give us a subscribe. Also, give us a review. That's how we move up every weekend. Thanks for all the new listeners, man. We've had a blow up in our back catalog. People just keep tearing it up, so that's awesome. So thank you for all the new listeners out there. That's the reason why we do what we do.
Yeah, no doubt.
So let her eat, Bo.
So just some business meeting time.
Okay.
Lisa Crouch again gets Lisa Crouch. You are the winner for promoting the show again for this week. If you keep it up, I'm going to have to put you on the payroll because she keeps, just sharing and posting.
How about internship? That's free.
Stuff. Oh, yeah. Maybe we'll have you as an intern.
That works, too.
The other thing, too, is last week we had Warfighter Tobacco, and they have been really cool and said that if you'd like to order some of these Warfighter Tobacco cigars, you can actually go out to their website, warfightertobacco.com, and you can use promo code MOJO10, and you can get 10% off your order. So, really cool. Thank you guys for doing that. We really appreciate it. So, I'm going to ask you like I ask you every week, Mojo, how you be doing?
Boy, I tell you what burns my biscuits, man. I feel like I'm dropping the ball on proper etiquette and teaching of the Southern ways to my daughters.
Oh, okay.
We're getting ready to eat the middle meal of the day.
Okay, so that's second breakfast.
So to some, I'm along with the second breakfast, but it's 12 o'clock. It's that time, and I'm like,
that's third breakfast.
What do you guys want for dinner? My daughter goes, dinner. It's lunchtime, Dad. I'm like, geez, no, lunch is dinner.
Dinner, supper.
Dinner, supper. Because you've been in my life for 13 years, and you still haven't figured this out. So I feel like I'm dropping the ball with the Southern lingo of my kid. So
does your kid use a lot of the Southern lingo? Is it just
she has a distinct accent? I think. I mean, she tries to talk the Valley Girl talks now. She's getting older and
oh my gosh,
stupid stuff like that, which makes me want to put a nail in my skull. But yeah, she'll when she gets she's not thinking it. She drops her guard. She says Didi. Hey Didi. Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah, I ain't proud of that, but. Not knowing what supper is? Come on.
Yeah, there's a line, people.
Yeah, a little tear was shed. I'll be honest.
Is it like that little tear of like the Indian asking you to recycle in that one, that commercial?
It's like when you don't put all your coals out at the forest fire camping, and then Smokey the Bear comes out and gives you a lecture, and that little tear rolls down the side of your face because you feel like you dropped the ball. There's that kind of moment.
I got you.
Yeah, that kind of moment. So. So
Well
how you be
done.
doing, Bo?
Man, I'm good. We went out to Whiskey Prison this week. We enjoyed that. Thanks,
Yeah, we did.
Leanne for doing that. We learned some.
No peanut butter.
We learned no peanut butter. We didn't have to escape. They actually let
Well,
us out.
we thought they were going to lock you in though because you were conversating with everyone. So
The wife went, and so we were trying to find what was it, the consummating room? We were trying to find that. We got lost.
I think every room in that prison was a consummation room. It's so small.
you don't want to run a black light through that. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, dude, I cannot to this day. We've visited twice, once in the light and once in the dark.
Right.
But I cannot imagine them housing 400 to 600 people there at a time.
No.
This place is about the size of
maybe a football field.
Yeah, I mean, probably the size of an average, like, smaller grocery store. Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of throw that in for a new segment we have coming up. But about the size of a small grocery store, and 600 up to 600 people at the height of the day. So,
and let's not just say 600 people, 600 prisoners. Mm-hmm. You know, they're not. You know,
well,
the
they're
average
people, but they're convicted of crimes against the populace.
To try to get a lot of people that have committed crimes in a small packed sardine can.
Yeah,
I'm sure some wonderful
it's a lot of
things
sweaty
happen there.
men's out there, and I couldn't imagine being there. But yeah, and also I think the no AC. Yeah, that's got to be brutal. 600 sweaty men's and no AC, so that's not good.
That would not be pleasant. The other thing is we went. I got to go see John Caparulo this week, so he was a very funny guy. A little bit more cussing than I normally would have liked to have, but you know, he's funny. He
was a gracious guest to you.
He was.
I think
oh
you
my gosh,
beat him in the back and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, they said, you know, on the show he said go back to the green room. So the green room is knocking on the door that you pass by going into the venue. So you're like, but you open the door, and dude, I'm telling you, it was like a freezer in that place.
Oh, really?
It was so cold.
Really?
I guess they, like it cold down there, but.
Well, it also duels as a meat locker when they're not used as a green room on the off days, I guess.
You're right.
Was it green?
No, it wasn't even green. It was the size of it was less room of the studio.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's not a big room.
So like a prison cell at Whiskey Prison, I guess.
Yeah, there you go, the solitary at Whiskey Prison.
But he was nice, and we had a good time with him on a podcast. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, really cool stuff. So so that was it. So you've got, you were telling me about some of the things that you were making for this week at the
casa.
At the Mojo household.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we're there's no secret. I like to smoke food.
Mm-hmm. I like to eat your smoked food.
So my wife's favorite is she likes beef ribs.
Okay.
So that's what I'll be doing all weekend, which is usually about a 16-hour, 17-hour process, depending upon when I get them. But she likes the beef ribs, and
she does.
So we're talking about earlier about doing some type of cooking segment. I was like, well, it's kind of hard to do a cooking segment on podcast, and you know what I'm saying, because add the garlic to the pan. I mean, what did he say? But I'll just kind of describe to you about beef ribs a little bit. So most common things are there's two types of beef ribs. So if you go to the supermarket or butcher shop, there's two different types. There's one that actually comes from under the ribeye loin. Those are called beef back ribs.
Okay.
So those are very similar to, I guess, in appearance, like a baby back rib. Same part of the body, except on a cow versus pig. And so that's one kind of rib. Also, there's one that comes from the plate, which of the animal, which is right towards the top of the chest, near the front legs.
Okay.
And that part of the body gets a lot of work from just holding all that weight, and whatever. So
kind of like my legs. I got you.
Something like that. So I guess you'd have some good plate ribs too.
There you go.
But it comes from the plate or the frontal chest of the animal.
Okay.
There's a lot of sinew, a lot of just a tough piece of meat raw.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So it takes some time to kind of break those down. So that's what we like are the plate ribs.
So that's your preference, is the plate ribs?
It is, because you get more meat on it. The backbone ribs just have literally no meat. I mean, they have some good meat, but to be honest, for the price you pay for them, it's just not worth it. So
are plate ribs cheaper than the back ribs?
Actually, they used to be. I'm sorry, the back. Yeah, actually, the plate ribs used to be much cheaper, but with the advent of short ribs being on the menu so much, and also Korean food becoming very popular now, they're about the same cost.
Wow.
So when you go to the butcher, I have to ask if I go into my local Harris Teeter or Sam's Club or Costco or BJ's or whatever store you have you prefer. I used to have to ask the butcher if they have any whole uncut short ribs. Because usually they get plate ribs in and then they take them to the old buzzsaw and cut them up. Short rib is basically about a 3-inch segment of that plate rib. They get 3 cuts out of that whole plate. So I'm sure you've seen short ribs. Short ribs are very popular on a lot of Italian menus and things like that. With they'll do like a short rib bolognese or short rib ragu and things like that. But just ask for uncut plate rib or uncut short rib. These slabs will come out now. They look like a big side of bacon. I mean, they're probably there's only 4 bones. Yeah, there's only 4 bones in it because that's just where the plate rib is. But I usually pick up a whole pack, which is like 4 of them, just because if I'm going to do it for 16 hours, I'm not going to do just one.
Sure.
So also there's, you can, besides the short rib, a lot of the plate ribs will be cut into galbi or kalbi, which is the Korean cut, which is that real thin beef rib where they just throw it on the Korean grill for, a couple minutes and grill it. And that's where that comes from also. But yeah, the old beef short ribs. And like I said, I'll just simple salt and pepper because I hate spending that much money on meat and then adding $40 worth of seasonings to it and killing the taste of the beef. What you want. So and actually this beef ribs are actually probably the best cut of beef on the cow, just because they come out like brontosaurus ribs, like from Fred Flintstone. They're just giant. So
nice.
That's what we'd be doing.
So how do you tenderize it if that one's going to be like the harder, tougher piece of the meat? You just
low and slow, salt and pepper.
Really?
I usually pull the meat and let it sit till it gets room temperature because that allows there's no deviation in cook time. So I'll let them bring up to room temp, and then I pre-season them, leave them to room temp, and then I'll throw them on a grill. 225, just low and slow, and it usually takes about 16 hours to get 16, maybe sometimes 17 to break those down. And what you're looking for is that connective tissue start breaking down. They'll shrink. The ribs will shrink a little bit. The bone also contract, but also the prep time. I forgot to mention this: when you're prepping any rib, you flip it over till the meat side's on the table. Okay. And you got the back side. Okay. There's a membrane back there, and that membrane makes the meat very inedible. Okay. So I mean, some people leave it on. I don't. I hate biting into that rubber type texture. So yeah. If you take a butter knife, you can go under the ribs and pull that membrane off first, and it just in the end you'll thank yourself for it. So
nice. Yeah, you don't want to get all that meat and all that money that you spend on that,
and all the time too. You know, especially when you're doing this slow cooking stuff. I mean, it takes time.
Does taking the membrane off, does that decrease or increase your time or anything like that?
It's about the same. Same. So gotcha. I mean, just a little extra prep work.
Nice. So will you take a picture of those and then we can maybe put it on the website for folks? That'd be nice.
If I have enough, I'll invite you over.
Oh, buddy. I can't imagine cooking food for 17 hours. Like, that doesn't even register on my brain.
Really?
Yeah, I can't.
Unless it's in a crock pot.
If it's not done within an hour, I'm like, I'm done. I'm not part of this.
I could take it out of a box, pull the plastic off of it, and throw it in the microwave.
Right. If it doesn't involve the microwave, I'm kind of out.
If it doesn't say Hungry Man on it.
If I don't have to get my meal and pull off a plastic top on it.
If my choices are mushroom flavor or shrimp flavor, and if you want to go crazy, you can add both of them. So
at the same time, that's a wild, crazy Friday night. I tell you, at the Biggun Manor.
That is.
No, I'm just kidding. My wife actually does a really good job cooking.
She does.
It's good stuff. So that's
why. Especially the nanner pudding.
Don't even get me started.
I know.
Good.
You're trying to do better. I forgot.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have some wacky news, and we've teased this on our Facebook page. We're going to have a supermarket or grocery store bracket that we're going to have, and then we have a special guest on the show.
Yeah, it's guys from Fill My Basket, which is a nonprofit organization out of Oklahoma City that's gone viral, and they're looking for a few good cities to join in on them, so check them out.
All right, you're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. Hey guys, it's me, Biggun. Summer is made for grilling and chilling, and you too can be the baddest mother smoker on the block using our favorite award-winning smoking sauce. Bad Mother Smokers is perfect match for that favorite meat, veggies, or even that secret ingredient in a pot of chili. Check out badmothersmokers.com to place your order, and if you want to be a barbecue pitmaster like Mojo, enter the promo code MOJO for 10% off your order. Visit badmothersmokers.com or the sponsor section of our website at southernfriedphilosophy.com. All right, we're back, and here's a little bit of wacky news.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. It's making me crazy. It's making me crazy. Every time I look around. Every time I look around. It's in my face.
I hate to do this to you, man. I really do. Speaking of barbecue, a Baltimore serial killer who cut up his victims and sold them as barbecue is found dead in his jail cell at age 62.
I may be rethinking the barbecue strategy this weekend.
Joseph Roy Metheny, the admitted serial killer who chopped up his victims and sold them as barbecue from a roadside stand in Baltimore, he has died in his cell. He was age 62. He was found around 3 p.m., and they don't know exactly how he died. It's under investigation. So if you're not familiar with this guy, he was in Baltimore, and he had a little roadside barbecue stand. He had 2 girls that he wanted to have some special hello time with, and instead of that, he killed them, chopped them up, and put them in his barbecue. Here's the quote that's gonna not make me eat dinner tonight. I had real roast beef and pork sandwiches, and why not? They weren't very good, in his own words. The human body tastes very similar to pork, and if you mix it together, no one can tell the difference.
May you rot in peace. That's all I got to say. There's no humor in that at all. It's just,
There's
wow.
not. But could you imagine, like, if you were in Baltimore and
Around that time period.
that time, and you remember getting a barbecue sandwich,
a roadside stand barbecue sandwich,
asking for the quote-unquote special meat. How are you feeling about yourself right now?
Man, he makes Hannibal Lecter look like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Could you imagine? Nope. I think I'm just going to stick to McDonald's. Well, I was going to say McDonald's, but they're probably just as
They have
bad.
special meat, too.
Goodness. What you got?
Well, there's no secret out there. I'm a Duke fan, but I think I may be staying away from Durham for the next 2 months, and I think it's coming from Chapel Hill. But anyway, City of Durham officials have released a warning to all residents to keep their toilet lids closed for the next 2 months in order to prevent a potentially messy situation.
Do what now?
Yeah. Evidently,
There it is.
is that you earlier? Anyway, part of the project involves jetting of the sewer lines, according to officials. Jetting is cleaning out the cleaning method that uses pressurized water sprayed through specialized hoses, which can result in air escaping via inadequately vented plumbing fixtures. So yeah, you might get some sewage blowback, some
you know what
some
I'm
shrapnel that you didn't contribute to.
Do you remember that scene in Goonies where they were messing around with the pipes down in the basement, and then all of a sudden it blew back and it made their toilets go up and down? That's what I'm picturing.
Oh man, my fear. That's one of my fears because I had a restaurant in a very, very old cotton mill, and we had to do some construction around these old sewer pipes, and that was my biggest fear, was accidentally snap one of those things and just having 103 years worth of turds come out on your head. So yeah, that's that'll put a fear of Jesus in you.
Oh, goodness gracious. Can't imagine. Speaking of, actually, this has no connection to it. Bakers refuse to make a pro-Trump birthday cake for a 9-year-old boy. This is courtesy of the Washington Times. So a boy who he sent a letter to the president saying, hey, you're my favorite president. He's 9, so remember that.
So he only has 2 to compare to Trump or Obama, I guess.
Right, yeah. So he doesn't have a whole lot
out
to
of 2, you're the most awesome. Gotcha.
He's liking those odds. So he sent a letter saying that he wanted to have a Trump birthday party, but no bakers in the area would make a Trump birthday cake because of their political views. They didn't. The White House didn't say specifically who it was, but then the news media got a hold of it and realized it was this kid that was in California. Imagine that. And they did some research and realized that none of the bakers in the area wanted to make a pro-Trump birthday cake. So there's no backlash at all on this one. But what I do think is ironic is, if you'll remember, if this story about a cake sounds familiar, the
gay cakes.
In Colorado, there was a guy that did not want to make a homosexual birthday cake, wedding cake for a homosexual couple. And then the state came in and said that he had to make it. And then actually they fined him a whole lot more than I actually remember. This has been kind of cyclical of a few things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They've had several bakers now. They've also had a pizza restaurant that got sued because he would not cater a gay wedding. I mean,
okay.
Number one, how cheap do you have to be to have a pizza restaurant? Like, we'll go get the 5 and Hot Nows at Little Caesars. We'll get like 30 of them are good. Get my whole wedding paid for. But also venues have been sued too. So, but ironically, the first 2 gay cake bakers or didn't want to bake the cake, they actually got sued and also held liable. And also the 8th Circuit of Appeals Court, known as the Left Circus or the Circus Appeals, had held that up, so that it was like final. So
they actually, the state said that the bakery had to go re-education training. That doesn't sound familiar.
Internment camp, gotcha.
Yep, and changing the store's policy and file quarterly quote-unquote compliance reports for the next 2 years.
Where's the bakery at?
Colorado.
Okay.
And the Supreme Court will hear that baker's oral argument coming up beginning this fall. But I just thought that it was ironic that there was a huge push because this baker did not want to make a cake, but then there's no backlash for a pro-Trump birthday cake. So you got to play it both ways. I don't care whatever side of the story or cake you end up on, but you've got to play both sides. If you're going to get upset about the homosexual wedding cake, you've also got to be upset about the not making the pro-Trump wedding cake. So I just saw that and thought it was interesting. Thoughts, opinions?
I have a lot. Number one, that's probably the worst birthday cake you can ever get again. It's like a red hat, a MAGA hat, birthday cake. Hey, come on. I mean, 9 years old, I can think of other cool things like BMX bikes and, G.I. Joe, or whatever the cool kids are now.
You got a cool hair.
But, it's like you said, though, you have to, number one, I think it's stupid because even the quote-unquote Christian bakers that denied or didn't want to.
Sure.
Number one, it's a private business. You have the right to offend and discriminate against anyone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but businesses, employers, employees, they do that every day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fundamental right to be discriminatory. I mean, if I have someone that I'm doing a catering contract for and it's a $15,000 wedding, I'm going to be discriminatory and say, hey, I need a large deposit up front, because I've been to those situations where you buy the $7,500 worth of food to do the catering, and all of a sudden they call and cancel, and then you're eating $7,500 worth of food. So that's a lot of broccoli. But there's been other cases. Dearborn, Michigan.
Why is it always Dearborn, Michigan? Every time.
They've had secret shoppers going there and ask for Jewish cakes or Christian cakes, and they refuse to make those too. So. I believe that's their fundamental right if you want to do that. But all of a sudden you have a Supreme Court, this, like I said, the 8th Circuit Appeals steps in and makes this like mandatory, ruling that these guys have to pay up. And then also re-education. What kind of re-education will they be getting?
It's a little scary. You get on a slippery slope there, my friend. Colorado,
I love their kind of independent spirit. They've kind of led the way in a lot of things as far as the country, but come on, this is we have all this Antifa going out there. This is fascism. This is actually the definition of fascism, actually making people do mandated things by the government, and also if you don't, the government's going to come in and take it away. So this is fascism at fascism light.
But can we both agree, like, do it on both sides of the case, like homosexual wedding cakes or pro-Trump? I mean, it's your freedom of speech, y'all.
Sure.
Like, you should be able to do that.
Sure.
It's ridiculous.
I always make my every year for my wife's birthday, I go get her a cake, and I have them cut out like a little rectangle box and put the cake filling on the side, and it says, "Wish you were here," like a casket. She hates it. Or either that, or I'll put one foot in the ground. So
there you go.
Yeah,
I bet she loves that.
She's excited about it. She loves it.
She just can't wait to get that cake.
I always take it to her work too, just for maximum impact.
You're so sweet.
I know.
You get Husband of the Year award. So, a Georgia professor allows stressed out students to choose their grades. A Georgia professor is allowing students to choose their own grades to reduce stress. A professor at the University of Georgia will allow his fall semester students to pick their own grades in an effort to reduce the stress of his level of students. So in the syllabus, it says that you can basically pick whatever you want to do. Here's a quote from the syllabus. If you feel unduly stressed by a grade for any accessible material or the overall course, you can email the instructor indicating what grade you think is appropriate, and it will be changed. No explanation is required, but it is requested that you consider waiting 24 hours before emailing the instructor.
The only stipulation is 24 hours.
Yeah, that's it. So if you did an F and say, I think I should have gotten an A, you just wait 24 hours, and then you'll be getting an A.
Georgia. What part of Georgia?
University of Georgia in Athens.
Oh, it's a state-funded university.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So tax dollars from everything.
Yeah. But let's also not forget, if you are in a group meeting and you feel stressed by your group's dynamics, you should leave the meeting immediately and offer no explanation to the group members. Furthermore, you can request to discontinue all further group work, and your grade will be based totally on non-group work effort.
If I was mom and dad at home and my kid ever did that, I would immediately cut school funding off and give them a packet of applications to every fast food joint in the area.
Can you imagine?
Well, first off, where was this teacher at when I was in school? Where?
Well, they wouldn't allow that teacher when you were in school because that professor would have been fired. Who in their right minds does this?
All I know is if I had the option, I'm creating my own symbols, like double infinity. That would be my grade.
Sorry.
And I'm not even answering one question, but I got a double infinity on the test.
So I see that your grade point average is 4-point double infinity. Got it.
Good job, Mojo. You got a grade this week.
Could you imagine bringing that report card home to your mama?
It comes like one of those like a birthday card that has the singing in the middle, but has to have that. Yeah.
Good job, Biggun. You got yellow for a grade. What does that happen?
You got pecan pie.
You got biscuits for your grade. Well, as a matter of fact, that would have been my lunch grade. I just can't imagine, and you wonder why we joke around millennials and we joke with just the puddinization of America. Like,
dude, I was paddled in school. Like my rear end got tore up.
Yes, sir.
Several times.
Yes, sir.
And then the principal would call my mother. And as soon as I got off the bus, it was,
here it comes again.
Yeah. So you
wonder why these kids will apply for a job and then quit because it's too difficult. Like, what are you teaching your kids on this? Like, that makes no sense. Because it's too hard, you're going to quit.
Or if they quit, they do it in dramatic style, and then it's on YouTube or World Hip Hop Star or whatever. Like they're throwing the tacos at customers, whatever. Yeah. Like, I got to have my drop my mic moment just because I want to have a temper tantrum. So
right. Well,
yeah, but I don't know.
Listen, you do that long enough, you'll become president.
I wonder what the annual tuition cost is at UGA for. You know what I'm saying?
It's not cheap.
No. I mean, it's a high ranking university. I don't know about high ranking, but obviously they'll be the number one educated school in the world if everybody gets to choose their own grades.
Well, and here's the thing: it's the degree is for business data management, so you kind of at least have to know a little bit of what you're doing. You would think that you would at least need to know how to do something instead of just.
But here's the thing: they don't. But these students got to realize that their future job employers are going to be looking at that.
Oh yeah.
What did you make in this data something 401? Right, I made the Klingon symbol of it, and then I'm sorry, I have a Harvard candidate here who actually has a 4.0.
I just
You might want to go back to your mom's basement.
yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, at least do the work, y'all. Can't imagine.
Oh,
All right. Well, we're gonna make a nice transition on that.
well, thank goodness we are in our bunker, because I think we need to stock up and stay in the bunker until.
That's actually not a bad idea. So we've got our guest this week is Fill My Baskets, and do you want to explain a little bit of what he does so that this kind of makes a little
it's
bit of
actually
sense?
a couple guys, and Fill My Basket is an organization out of Oklahoma City, and
I have to tell you, every time you say that, I think you're going to say something dirty. I don't know why.
but basically these guys just wanted to give back to the community in a kind of a direct way, direct manner. So they just started taking, hey, I got an extra $100 this week, or I got extra $65 this week, and they'd stand in line behind people in the grocery store, and then someone has a basket of groceries and it comes up to $30, they'd pull out $30, pay for it, and walk away. No thanks needed, just doing it. So they actually, I think, according to their video, which I was cutting onions when I watched the video 2 times in a row. They basically
You had to watch it twice because you're crying so much.
Yeah, I couldn't see through the tears. So, but 2 guys they did it twice. They went in. Spent, I think one of them spent 65, one of them spent something, whatever. They never had to ask for. They never had to pull any more money out of their pocket. Donations started coming in. So anyway, wonderful organization, and they're trying to spread the word because they'd like to actually get more people and cities involved.
Yeah. So what we've decided to do is, in the most ridiculous manner possible, we're going to do a Sweet 16 bracket. Think of it like a basketball bracket of some of the top. There it is.
Yeah.
The 16. I guess one of the most well-known supermarkets in the South, and then we're going to have a break it down.
There may be a few Yankee stores in here.
There may be. So here's our number 1 brackets out of the deal. So we got Publix is a number 1 seed. Fresh Market.
They were up against Bilo, which Bilo's a dump.
Yeah, I was just going to go by the seeds,
Okay.
and then we can kind of tell who we're
Gotcha.
going through. So Publix, Fresh Market, Wegmans, and Whole Foods are all 1 seeds. Target, Harris Teeter, Kroger, and Trader Joe's are 2 seeds. Walmart, Winn-Dixie, Piggly Wiggly, and H-E-B. Here, everything's better. Those are 3 seeds. And Food Lion, Bilo's, Aldi's, and Ingles are all 4 seeds. So just kind of like a regular basketball championship, the better the store, the higher your seed, the worse your store. So the first one out of the gate, we're going to have Publix versus Bilo. So out of that, is there anything that's going to save Bilo to upset Publix?
No, I mean they got actually Bilo has cheaper fried chicken tenders. They're halfway good, but no, it's ghetto.
Okay, so Publix is gonna.
Yeah, they used to be Bilo used to be decent, but then they sold 15 times over. So yeah, they're horrible.
Okay, all right. So the next one is going to be a number 1 seed versus a 4. So Fresh Market versus Food Lion.
Definitely Fresh Market.
Okay, there's no argument on that one. The number 1 seed will be Whole Foods versus Ingles.
Definitely Whole Foods.
Oh yeah, we're not doing an upset on that one. And then the last one is Wegmans.
But Walter's vegetables are pretty good. Ingles. And I hate to say that because Ingles is actually a North Carolina-based grocery store.
Well, we'll try not to have them as
Okay.
sponsors. So Wegmans versus Aldi's.
Oh, definitely Wegmans.
Yeah, no argument on that. So we'll go to the 2 seeds. Target versus Piggly Wiggly.
I can't figure out which bathroom I'm supposed to use at Target, but I definitely choose Target. And I love Piggly Wiggly too. They do have the redeeming value is they have the coolest T-shirts. It has the pig on the front and the tail on the back. But they cater to small town. They're
Usually mom and pop.
Mom and pop owns them. Part of that franchise chain model. But if you want to go get a jar of capers for your lemon whatever chicken tonight, then
You're out.
You're out. You're going to use grapes, and that's totally not it.
All right, so Target is the winner of that one. Here's probably one of the ones that's more difficult. Harris Teeter versus the Winn-Dixie.
Definitely Harris Teeter.
You think so?
Yeah, they're overpriced, but once again, they have they have kind of a hodgepodge. I mean, you're not going to be able to make a complete international meal there, but you can at least go get some of the ingredients versus Winn-Dixie, where Winn-Dixie you might get a staph infection. Plus, I worked for Winn-Dixie, was my first job, so I kind of have a little strong disdain in my heart for bagging groceries there. So.
Okay, I will refer to you on that one. So defer to you. All right. So
don't ask me how they make sauerkraut there. They used to make their own homemade sauerkraut, so you don't want to know that.
I kind of do, but I don't. All right, so moving on. Kroger versus Walmart. Which one are you going to pick on that?
I'm going to have to go Kroger because the Kroger has the super Krogers, which are like you pretty much can buy a car, book a travel vacation, get engaged at the wedding chapel, and they had the spread of snacks like samples. So, and plus Walmart, the people of Walmart, I really don't want to have a family reunion with my family at Walmart. So
I understand. The one thing I'll say, Walmart is probably going to be cheap and dirty. And by the way, you can't check out at Walmart. It's like Hotel California.
Well,
you
Walmart,
can't check out.
That's right. Walmart, every time, I'm telling you right now, I will stand in line for 45 minutes because of course they only have 2 registers open. And by the time I get to the register, they do the cash changeover, and your employee comes in. It's like a dealer, at the casino. They slap their hands and walk away.
I'm convinced all of those, checkout things in the middle don't even work. Like they're fake. They're not.
I think they got a special buy on them, and they just put them up there. I've never seen it in the middle work. I had a 16-year streak of never entering a Walmart until this Christmas, and my wife made me go and buy a couple of their artificial pipe cleaners for Christmas, the Christmas tree things.
You could actually get them there?
Yeah.
I looked. I couldn't find them. Yeah. I needed them for something.
Well, they were, I'm talking about the Christmas trees, not the pipe cleaners.
Oh, okay.
But you could get the Christmas trees and use that as a pipe cleaner.
Right. That's a good call. All right, here's another difficult one. A Trader Joe's versus the H-E-B.
H-E-B is not around where we're at, so I'm going to have to go Trader Joe's just because you pretty much can have a complete meal there. Yeah. You can have a sample of anything.
And it's the smallest little store. I don't know how they get so much stuff in that store.
That's right. But you can get fresh salmon, avocados, and truffle chocolate bacon wrap pretzel wine there.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah. and you can get a hangover for about $3. So
you can. We've tested it out. All right. So here we go. We're gonna break it down to the final 4. Publix versus Target. Which one are you picking?
Publix, just because I like a grocery store to have groceries and not, underwear, socks, lawn furniture. So I'm going to Target.
That is the reason why that is the reason why you pick Kroger. I'm just saying.
Well, but the Kroger has actually the stuff you need.
Right. So. I will say, for me, Publix, because when I was a kid, I would go in and get a full-size cookie because you could just ask for the free cookie and get that.
Hey, plus they do a great job service-wise. They don't want any tips. They pay their baggers actually a decent wage. So
yeah. All right, so it's Fresh Market versus the Harris Teeter.
I gotta go Harris Teeter just because.
Really, the upset.
Now I love the butcher section in Fresh Market, but you can't get you can get a complete meal there, but you can't really get anything to make a complete meal. I mean, you can get tea from you can get tea from Kashmir, India, but you can't get the regular bag of potato chips here for your grill out. So, but I do like.
Okay, so Harris Teeter pulls the first upset. The second is Kroger versus Whole Foods.
I got to go Kroger on that, just because Whole Foods
pulling up another upset.
Dude, Whole Foods makes you mad because you go in there and you're like, I'm gonna get this little jar of spice. How much is this jar of spice? It's about an ounce and a half. $17.50. Yeah, $32.50. And is that pesos or American dollars?
Right.
And it's just ridiculous.
I think at some point, though, it's going to go to smiles and hugs. You get to pay for things at smiles and hugs.
Well, Whole Foods just sold to Amazon.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of interesting to see if that model changes up or not. But man, Whole Foods, man, especially here, I mean, it's ridiculous the prices they choose. So
I'm also going to support you in that decision because Kroger actually is now Kroger Field for Commonwealth Stadium in Kentucky. So I will give you that win. Wegmans versus Trader Joe's.
Definitely Wegmans.
Wow. Okay.
Because even their Wegmans line is actually decent. If you go to Ingles and you got the Laura Lynn, which Laura Lynn was probably Laura Lynn's a nice lady, I'm sure, but
she sponsors the show.
But Laura Lynn, pickles are not the same as the name brand pickles. I'm sorry.
But I mean, Trader Joe's has some good stuff. But
Trader Joe's actually goes to the source, so people actually make the stuff. a prominent cookie manufacturer and has them do their own stuff too. So
Okay. So Wegmans.
plus
it
they're
is?
efficient. I mean, I really like Trader Joe's. They're efficient too. So anyway, Wegmans.
So Wegmans. Okay. All right. So now the going down to the final game: Publix or Wegmans.
Wegmans.
I'll support you on that one. Harris Teeter or Kroger.
Might go Kroger.
I will also support you on that.
Because still, you can pick up a couch at Kroger. I'm just kidding.
So the battle royale is Wegmans versus Kroger.
Gotta go Wegmans, yeah.
All right. You got
Hopefully
it.
Wegmans hears that and puts a Wegmans in Charlotte area.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
Now, for those that maybe aren't familiar with Wegmans, it is a fantastic grocery store. They have a ton of, like a salad bar, but it's like a salad bar for everything. It's
Yeah.
not just salad. You get like Italian and Oriental and all kinds of different.
Just like in the
different
Bible where it
foods.
says, my house has many, inside my house has many mansions. Well, inside Wegmans, it has many salad bars.
Right.
So-
But there are all kinds of salad bars.
Yeah. And also, Cherub of Angels start to announce you when you walk in the door.
Can you explain to me why everybody has an olive bar?
I don't know who. I don't know who invented that. See,
Why are olives so important that they need their own bar?
well, all I know is the Olive Bar is usually like the Brandon walk by snack bar. So
So you walk by and pick up a few of them?
I take a toothpick and I'll usually have. I'm like, man, the only thing I'm missing is a martini, but I'll entertain the olives.
I don't
So,
understand why there is that.
Me neither. And for the first time ever, the other day I was at Harris Teeter has a companion store called 201 Central here in Charlotte, which is they sell beer, wine, and cigars.
Who's
and
this?
It's called 201 Central.
But who owns that?
Harris Teeter.
Wow, did not know that.
Yeah, walked in and there was actually a lady at their olive bar. And that's the only person I've ever seen
Actually getting stuff from
actually
the olive?
buying stuff in the olive bar.
What's if you go buy a salad bar, what's the one thing you're like, I kind of want to eat that?
Pepperoni.
The pepperoni.
Yeah.
I get sucked in on the seafood salad. Isn't that's so disgusting, isn't it? Why do I want the seafood salad so much?
Oh, it's questionable. I don't
It's
know.
completely questionable. It's the most disgusting thing on there. But I'm like, I might try that.
It's more disgusting than the fake bacon bits, the little dry
yeah.
crunchies.
Yeah. I don't know why. what
And I
it is.
never eat sunflower seeds on my salad at home, but why on a salad bar? I'm putting sunflower seeds.
And then what I do is I figure out what's the thing that weighs the less, and I'm like, I can kind of do without that.
But here's the thing. Like, I revert to my middle school redneck days and going to Ryan's buffet. When I go to those buffets, like salad
oh my
buffet.
gosh, I love Ryan's.
And now I have some years in the culinary world and have owned restaurants, but I will resort to my 12, 13-year-old, 14-year-old self, and I will eat an iceberg salad with ranch, cheese, bacon, and pickles on it.
Right.
I don't know why. I could have like a great Caesar salad or a green goddess salad at home. I'm eating the white trash salad bowl. Yeah.
See, I never went to the salad bar. I just went immediately to the dessert bar and just started eating. I'd go by and get some
I've also
mac and
done
cheese.
just a bowl of cheese and pepperoni and ranch. Okay. And no wonder I had to have heart transplant. So that explains it all.
Very nice. All right, so if you played at home,
Honorable mention.
the honorable mention
Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's. There you go. All right, so if you want to play at home, that is on our website, so you can check it out at southernfriedphilosophy.com, or you can check it out on the Facebook page if you wanted to try your own and see if you get anything different. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will have...
Fill my basket.
That still sounds bad. Words cannot describe how awesome Robert and his team at Webmerized are. In our time of need, Robert came through for us and devoted more time than expected to help our organization develop our new website. It truly is a blessing to have an individual that can speak to the average person not in the IT world in a manner that can easily be understood. The process of working with his team was painless, and I look forward to working with them for future projects. Our website is spectacular, and I'm really proud of what was developed by Webmerized. Thanks, thanks, thanks. Don't take Stella H's word for it and also Southern Fried Philosophies, but go out to webmerized.com, WEBMERIZED, or check out the sponsors link on our website. And if you mention the word Biggun in your order, you'll get 10% off. Check them out at webmerized.com for your web services needs.
Welcome back to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. We have on our phone line today two guests, actually, Disty and Matthew. They were with fillmybasket.org. This is an organization where, like we were just talking about previously, that just does random acts of kindness, pays for total strangers groceries in line. I have to admit, guys, I've watched their video several times today, and the onion ninjas were out. So I was my wife looked at me. My wife looked at me twice when I had tears streaming down my face, and I'm like, it's just one of those videos I'm watching that kind of got me. So
yeah, that's kind of why we did it, is to, why we video everything is really to inspire other people to, give back. So, I mean, we appreciate it very much.
Yeah, we appreciate it. When we see our replays of our videos, I mean, we being able to see the moments, especially the after moments of our gestures, is just a fulfilling thing to share, and we're just so proud of that.
So how long have you guys been doing this for?
It's almost a year now.
Oh, wow.
Actually, coming up on the 14th will be 1 year. Matthew and I were inspired last year in late July, and we had both saw the same viral video of a gentleman doing it, I think in the Atlanta area. And we were inspired. Matt posted on social media. It was funny because the video that we watched, we were both in tears and crying. And Matt posted on social media, and I got back home and I saw it, and he vowed that he would, on his next bonus, that's what he wanted to do. I said, man, I'm all in. And that first day was the 14th last year of August. And that's where it all started. It's just started from us being inspired and wanting to do the same gesture of inspiring others to do this, because we were just so excited. We wanted to know what it felt like. We wanted to know how real it was, because it was really real to us watching that 3-minute video that we saw.
Well, I can honestly tell you that, everyone has, probably a lot of our listeners have seen the movie Pay It Forward, and that's kind of inspired its own little micro movement of, paying for the person behind you in line, like Chick-fil-A or Starbucks. I think someone got their tolls paid driving through a toll booth the other day. They told me about that. So nice. It's always kind of interesting to see those, but you guys are doing it on a little different level. This is actually where the grocery stores where people need their basic needs at. That Starbucks cup of coffee, someone's not going to miss that if they can't have to skip it for that day. But this is literally one of those essential elements of living is groceries. So, you guys are...
And it really, and really, to be, what you said is exactly right. It's certainly much more than just paying for people's groceries. We're able to bless them and really, in some people, unharden their hearts, and it really becomes way more than just paying for the groceries. But you're right. I mean, it's essential, and some people are spending their last $20 or their last $100, and that's the people we hope to help. The people who that's all they have, and now they can spend the rest of their money on their family or their children or something.
Is there a reason why you chose a grocery store, or was there any other options that were on the table?
Well, when we
all the Blockbuster videos were closed.
That was also a grocery store, and it's something really touched both of us. Matt and I both have families. Matt's family's a lot larger than my family, but I've been buying groceries for events and different things for a long time, so we just found it being something close to both of our hearts. And with buying groceries, it just means so much for people that go into the store, but it also means a lot for us to be able to get those final little things or whatever it may be.
Sure.
And Fill My Basket, it's not just about paying for people's groceries. What it is it's what we tried to start is a movement of people stopping what they're doing and helping somebody. And it's just about random acts of kindness. It's about, it's so easy for us to get caught up in our daily, our daily things that we do for our family and ourselves and work and everything else, and forget about helping anybody. And we get into this grind, and it's really important that we stop and we see the real picture. And the truth behind that is we have to stop. Our job is to help people, and that's what we want to keep this movement going.
Nice. I think Mojo was talking a little bit earlier on before you guys came on, is just you first started out doing it one time, and then after that the donations started coming in where you could use those donations to help other people. So how's that going? How are the donations coming in, and kind of where do you guys want to go next with that?
Well, right now, it's funny because when we first started, Matt and I, Matt completely used a big chunk of his money, and I had a little bit, and then I raised a little bit. And for the first couple, that's what we would do. We'd organize events and fundraiser events. We get on social media, tell our friends, tell our family. Matt had family come all the way down from Joplin, Missouri, when one of our benefits, which is about 3.5 hours from there. And from that point forward, when we won we actually were picked by Upworthy Video and Cricket Wireless. And when that major video came out, it was pretty crazy. The impact of what our video was, but what we were doing. And now where we're at a year later, what our hope and goal is to inspire other cities, other states, all around the nation, all around the world really, but all around the nation, to inspire affiliates to start their own chapters of Fill My Basket in their own cities.
Nice.
Yeah, so we were able at one point when our video first came out, we were getting about 1 million hits every single day.
Wow.
From around the world, and which generated at some point we were getting several $100s a day in just donations. So Disty and I, we use every penny to people to help the less fortunate. We don't pay ourselves anything. We have full-time jobs like we mentioned, but our goal is to, like Disty mentioned, to get Fill My Basket in every single state and in several different countries, and which we're in the process of right now. Every week we're signing up more and more states, but we will then take 20% of all donations from that state or that chapter and use it for the Oklahoma City chapter. So from here, we really hope that this just keeps growing and growing, and people keep donating, and from every state and around the world, people are just being able to help people, and that's what we hope. That's our goal.
Nice.
I'm sure everyone who's listening right now has had to go to a grocery store in the last probably couple weeks. And I don't know if you can remember 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I mean, $100 will not have the same amount of items in your basket as it did 10 to 15 years ago. So the value of $1 has lost its value. I mean, milk used to be $2, for decent milk. Now it's like $5 for organic milk. So there's a huge shift, and usually inflation, as far as an economic sense, hits the grocery stores first. It doesn't hit, the TVs and the LeBrons and the iPhones first. It hits the grocery stores first, and that's where the heartland of America. Everyone has to eat from a grocery store. So,
you're totally right. Totally right. And with different demographics and the cost of different proteins in different areas, it's hard to know how good you can eat at the same time too, because sometimes you have to buy in bulk or buy whatever it may be to feed your family, Sure. And we know every time when we go to the grocery store and we choose a line and we start buying groceries, we just know that every time a person walks up, it's just a huge blessing for those people, and also for us and the people that get to see the videos that we put out to inspire them.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing when we're paying for the groceries and you can feel everybody around the whole grocery store just kind of feel this presence of of blessing. It's pretty amazing.
Wow. So how do you choose that person? How do you know, like, kind of which one you're going to get behind and make it happen?
Well, we really don't choose anyone. We go and kind of scope the different places that we go. We kind of get an idea of the best line of people, because we can watch a place and kind of see, oh man, aisle 5, there's so many families that go through, and that's just kind of how it goes. And you
can really tell too with yeah. I mean, there's packages of. I was just going to say there's a family may have 3 or 4 children with them, and then their basket's full of ramen noodles and items that, I mean, you can just tell that they could probably use some help. I mean, who couldn't use some help? And I certainly it's just kind of you just kind of feel it. We always say a prayer before we say our prayers, and I mean, we just run with it. We totally run with it. We just kind of hope that the right people are there when we're ready to, start that.
And if there are opportunities, which there have been a handful of times, where our heart has said, hey, we need to get this person in our line. May it be a mother of 4 or an elderly person or whatever it may be. We just run with our heart and our faith that, we just know that every person that we're doing this for it's a blessing. But there have been times where Matt and they think that we work there, and we're like, yeah, go to aisle 4. And they're like, well, no one's in aisle 3. We're like, no, you want to go to aisle 4.
That's funny. So I guess you guys aren't hitting up the high-end organic stores and paying for someone's asparagus-infused water, are you?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. So.
The thing is we go with a good amount of money, and the hope is that a lot of these places that we go to, a lot of people are either getting it all or they're budgeting for what they can get. Mm-hmm. So, and in turn, we can help more people. In the demographics of kind of the areas we go, it's always different, and so there's all different types of community that we are faced with to help.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
and not that we are against helping people who shop at Whole Foods and things like that, but
sure.
Again, it's just about helping the people who really are kind of spending their last couple dollars or last money on groceries, and we just kind of hope that it helps. Yeah.
Absolutely, maximum impact.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
totally.
Has there ever been anyone that has refused and has turned you down?
Yes.
We've had only when we went to Missouri last November. It was just out of a crazy surprise, but when our video came out on Veterans Day over the weekend of World Kindness Day, we were getting contacts from all kinds of media in different areas, and one of the contacts was in Joplin, Missouri. And they're asking if we would like to come down. What was so funny is that my family's from Joplin. So I said, yeah, sure, but I have to talk to my co-director. Well, Matt's family is from Springfield in Joplin, which is all that area there. Mm-hmm. And so we actually did our first Family First nonprofit little Fill My Basket in Joplin, Missouri, with the radio or with the TV personality there. Mm-hmm. And what was crazy is that we had never really been turned down until there.
Of course.
They would just let us know that we had a couple of times where people were like, no, buy these people's groceries. And we would say, hey, you have to witness this then. So we'd go one over and buy all the groceries.
Mm-hmm. We also just kind of pay for the people's groceries and just kind of walk away. So the people the people who are kind of like, no. Several times I've just pointed up to something and I just kind of pay for the groceries and just kind of walk away. Because when I point, they're just kind of looking like, what are you pointing at? And I'm already kind of gone. So it's a blessing one way or another.
What kind of separates us too from, because we have our local TV here that does something kind of the same way, but it's more, it's TV, so they want to talk to them more about it. And for us, it's that moment of when we do our gesture and our random act and walk away. That's what film is for. That's to capture that one moment to where people are in awe. Is just sometimes you need that moment to understand or not understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we always have someone outside waiting to just tell them what happened, who we are, and that all we're looking for is to inspire them to do random acts of kindness.
Yeah, they don't even have to have money to buy someone else's groceries. They can bake a cake with some of the stuff they got and take it to a neighbor. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, many a times Disty and I have posted, it doesn't take, you don't have to have a lot of money to help people. Yeah, I mean, yes, we pay for people's groceries, and yes, that would be very expensive for somebody to try to go and pay for people's groceries, but it's not about that. It's just about stopping what you're doing and helping somebody. Like Disty has posted videos of simply just helping somebody with their card at the grocery store, or just doing something just to, help somebody. And that's all we want to, inspire others to do.
Right.
I have actually, this is big. I tried to pay for somebody's prescription drugs at CVS one time, and I actually got turned down, and he yelled and screamed at me. And I was like, well, I don't think I want to do that again.
He probably needed them first.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that does obviously happen, and we certainly are not going to take that bad, because we don't know what that person's day was like or what their story's like, and we don't know what they're going through. And so, whether or not, if they end up taking it and seeing later that it really was a blessing, or if they just completely flat out say, no, that's okay. I think that eventually they'll probably really think about what happened and realize it may be something that, could have been a blessing, or my point is it just, you never know. So
what's cool about us filming too is that afterwards, when Matt and I are going back over the film, because since we do walk away, we actually know that we're doing something great, but we later get to see people do other things great. When we get to watch people pay the next person's ticket and watch that person pay, it's such a great feeling to say, hey, we just did this work, and it worked right then. It already changed. We were the change, and they kept it, and they carried it on. And that's always a great surprise for us when we go back and we're like, oh my goodness, it happened right then, right after we walked away.
Nice. Yeah, that's actually going to be one of my next questions is what are some other stories of people paying it forward, maybe that you've heard it, or maybe one of your favorite pay it forward stories?
Well, man,
go ahead.
So many.
Yeah.
Well, when Matt and I first started this, we went out and did little, what we call leaps of faith. And so we would do other random acts, and paying for homeless people, their groceries. Like Matt and I have done so many little random acts like that. I can't even put a face.
Yeah, I think what it really boils down to is at one point we were putting out our videos of what we were doing, and then other people would tag us on Facebook or submit videos of them doing random acts of kindness, and it was really, really, really cool and very to be able to wake up and see, a radio station in Singapore.
Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, like just random videos. Yeah.
So many. What was it? Not Shanghai, Singapore, China. We've had people in Greece, in the UK, Canada, Arizona, Boston. Remember those two brothers from different states? They met each other halfway. There's been so many that we really can't pick that one of our favorite moments, but it's so cool to be able to know that the movement is happening and people are doing these random acts of kindness and tagging us and telling us thank you for inspiring them, and that was the whole purpose for this.
Wow,
totally.
Be the change that you want to see. That's one of those quotes that that kind of rings true. And with so much negativity on. I used to be a political junkie and a news junkie, but I'll be honest with you, in the past 2 years, I have turned the news off. So, and of course on the Facebooks, you got all the negative videos and stuff like that. So it's about change. It's about time to see some positive change. And so organizations like yours, I really, do appreciate that, admire, has inspired.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
we really appreciate
yeah,
that.
and the random acts of kindness, I can't speak highly enough of that. I mean, it feels so good to be able to pay for that person behind you or in front of you, and then walk away. You're not looking
It's
to.
the same feeling every time, and it's amazing.
You're not looking
the
for
next
that
time
kudos.
Tomorrow, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, you're not looking for the kudos or the braggadocious feeling. You're looking to make yourself smile. So I definitely encourage that.
Yeah.
And I'm not to sound too cheesy or take this podcast over, but I'm a heart transplant recipient. So I had a total awesome random act of kindness experience. So these little things like this just absolutely inspire. Biggun and I, we're both professing.
Awesome.
Yeah, Biggun and I are both professing Christians. We don't make a big deal of it on our podcast just because we're a podcast for all audiences, but you guys have mentioned faith and prayer. But I imagine that you guys don't discriminate against anybody who wants to come out with a few dollars or a few greenbacks that want to help someone else in need, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
The random acts of kindness doesn't have a color or creed or a religious background. Kindness is a feeling, it's a movement, it's something we all need. And Matt and I are 110% behind the random acts of kindness. So, when there's, we've tried to, in our own walks with doing Fill My Basket, we've even hit different genres and taken different genres of our community to come with us, because we want to be able to show that if it's the hip hop community, if it's the MMA community, if it's your friend next door, if it's your family, it's all the same. It's the act of kindness.
Yeah, and Disty and I both really believe that, the key to life, a lot of people think like, why, you hear people say, why are we here? What's the purpose? And I really think, and I think Disty will agree that, one of the keys to life is helping thy neighbor. And I don't mean to get into all that, but what I mean is just, I think that's our job.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why we're here is to help people.
Right.
And I think that's what we're here for.
Well, not to get too much Christianese here, but Christ basically said, love your, love God and love your neighbor. He didn't say all the other stuff that sometimes mankind, tries to implement and throw in the way. So everyone, if you're listening to this podcast and you have a few greenbacks, it don't matter if you have a hijab or a crew cut. Just help someone out. It's what it's all about, helping your neighbor. So
that's what it's all about.
Well, guys, we're going to wrap this up. You can reach these guys at fillmybasket.org. You can also go to the Facebook page and check them out. These guys do take donations. And also, if you're interested in doing a chapter in your city, these guys are currently looking. You guys can contact them once again through their website.
We have a 3-steps video on our page.
3 steps.
Nice.
They can check out.
It's better than the 12. It's better than the 12-step program I had to go through. So that's a little better.
It's not easy. It's just 3.
Well, that's
we
good.
won't tell anybody.
So no, but please check them out. Like I said, fillmybasket.org, and also in the Facebooks. And guys, we really appreciate you joining us. And
thank you for your time.
Also,
thank you for having us.
Yeah,
we really do appreciate
also,
it.
if you can hold one segment, we actually have a segment, and Biggun wants to do this little segment. It's kind of just to bring some levity to the interview. So here you go.
We do a segment that we call 10 in 1, where I'm going to ask you 10 questions and see if you guys can get them in under a minute. Because there's 2 of you, I'll even give you 2 minutes. How about that?
That sounds good.
All right.
All right, you get even. Hey, you got odds. I got even.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. Baskets, Easter or picnic?
Easter.
Favorite grocery store splurge?
Everything.
Pay it forward or forward thinking?
Pay it forward.
Is it called a buggy or is it called a shopping cart?
Ooh, budget.
The buggy? All right. Best surprise you've ever received?
Man, birthday surprise.
Ooh.
So here's the question. I don't know if you've heard of Wegmans or Kroger. If you had to pick a grocery store, which one would it be?
Definitely Kroger. I've never heard of Redlands.
Okay. The weirdest thing you've ever
Kroger
seen.
is the video that inspired us.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in a buggy?
The weirdest thing I've seen on a buggy?
In a
buggy.
shopping cart.
In a shopping cart? The weirdest thing? Probably an animal.
Okay. Your favorite aisle in the store?
Aisle 7.
Okay. One staple that's always on your grocery list?
Can you repeat that?
One staple that's always on your grocery list. Something that's always on your list.
Cereal.
Good.
Last question. Everybody knows what a spirit animal is, what animal you resonate most with. What is your spirit food?
Ooh, man. I'll take the Ark for 700.
Sounds good.
Never had the Ark before. So.
Never tried it. All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You guys have a wonderful day. And anything that you guys need, let us know. And thank you so much.
That was Disty and Matthew from Fill My Basket. Awesome to have those guys on. Appreciate them being on the show.
Yeah, and please go to Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher. Give us a subscribe and also a review. Once again, I hate to keep saying this in that fancy word called algorithms, but
There you go.
that's how the old iTunes likes it. That's how they promote us. And hopefully one of these days we'll get on to the noteworthy section. But also go to our Facebook, share our page, share the episodes you got. This episode should be good. I mean, this is inspirational, I think.
Yeah.
So anyway, we appreciate you guys always tuning in.
And as always, keep looking up.